dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh. What am I going to do? So bored. There's nothing to do. There's just nothing to do. I'm so bored. If only there was something exciting I could do. If only I could do something like, I know, something like an assembly for St. John's. That would be good. That wouldn't be boring. That would be exciting. If only I could do something like that. I'm so bored. Hold on. Is that St. John's? Hello, St. John's. Hey, should we do a quick assembly? I've suddenly thought, I was so bored, and now we can be together and do an assembly. Let's do a quick assembly, shall we? Oh, that's a great idea. I didn't know you were there. I hope you didn't see me looking too bored, did you? Well, greetings, everyone. Namaste. Good to see you. Let's light our candles, shall we? And start our assembly. There we go. Light the candle very carefully. I'm so pleased you're here. I'm really pleased you're here. Jesus says, I am the light of the world. Amen. Excellent. Well, as you may or may not have heard, I was thinking about boredom and being bored. And I wonder if you've ever been bored at any times in your life. I bet you have. I'm sure there's times that everyone's just bored. Ugh. What about this girl? Does she look bored? I think she looks a bit bored. I wonder if you've ever felt like this girl, feeling a bit bored. Oh my gosh, what about him? He's really bored. I'm so bored. What does that feel like when you're bored? It's awful, isn't it, sometimes? Oh my goodness me. She's really bored. You can see that. She's trying to work from home, probably like lots of mums and dads around, and working like, so bored. I wonder if there's any other pictures we've got of being bored. Hold on. No, that's a chessboard. That's not being bored. That's a chessboard. That's the wrong kind of board. Let's see if there's another one. Oh, that's an ironing board. That's even worse. That's not the kind of board I mean. I'm talking about boring board. That's an ironing board. I wonder if there's any more. Oh yes. Look at that. That's a board. That's a bored puppy. I wonder, have you ever been bored? Maybe you're bored right now. I'm sure you have. Well, listen, we're in the season of Lent, as you heard last week. And Lent marks 40 days leading up to Easter. We talk about it as a season of reflection and thinking. And the colour for Lent, I'm sure you can work it out, is purple. Absolutely right. Purple. Everything goes purple in the churches for Lent. But we call it Lent and we do 40 days because we remember Jesus. We remember Jesus in the wilderness. Because after Jesus' baptism, Jesus goes out into the desert for 40 days. And he has no one to be with. No one to talk to. No one to laugh with. No games to play. It's just Jesus on his own with his thoughts. Nothing else to do. How boring that must have been. Of course, the story of Jesus in the desert also is mixed up with the story of the devil coming to tempt him, and all sorts of things go on in that. But for the large time, Jesus is just on his own and must have been bored. And it just makes me wonder how you feel and whether there's times that you've been bored. Maybe on a car journey or on a train journey, just bored. When will this end? Maybe when you haven't got friends. That's awful, isn't it? When your friends, you can't see your friends or your families or your loved ones, then that's really boring. And during lockdown, oh my goodness me, how boring has some of that been? We've really been bored. And it really can make us feel like, ugh, oh. I mean, sometimes boredom can be boring. Sometimes boredom can even feel a bit scary, make us feel uncomfortable. It's not nice to be bored sometimes. Sometimes it can be frightening. When will this ever stop? But sometimes, boredom can be good. Are you sure, Father Gary? Yeah, I think I am. Sometimes boredom can be good. Why on earth would I say that? Well, a bit like Jesus in the desert here. When we're bored, we're alone, on our own, with our thoughts. I wonder if you've ever found yourself being really bored and then all of a sudden you find that you're playing a really exciting game, or maybe doing something really creative, or writing something, or painting, or doing something really interesting, thinking big thoughts, wondrous thoughts. I wonder if you've ever had those times. So when you're bored, suddenly something bursts out that's really interesting. Not having PlayStations, maybe, not having the internet down. Oh, can you imagine not having the internet? That would be boring, wouldn't it? But these things happen. Sometimes we don't have distractions. Sometimes we don't have the things around us that we like. Sometimes we don't have our friends with us. And sometimes it can feel boring, but sometimes something exciting can come out. We might find ourselves doing something exciting with our imaginations that we've never done before. Because inside of us, there's a whole world of excitement and imagination. Sometimes when we're feeling really bored, there's the bored puppy again, it can release something else. A whole world of imagination and ideas that can come out of us being bored. Sometimes those big, noisy, flashy things like computer games or whatever, or television, they can get in the way. They can distract us from who we are and who we can be. Instead, we can find something amazing and exciting within ourselves. Being bored can be a gift. It's not always easy, but sometimes we discover something about ourselves that we've never seen there before. And you know, it's an interesting thing because it's in all of the world's religions. The idea, and we taught it in Christianity as well, of course, that actually real happiness, real excitement, real meaning is not found always in the outside things around us, but actually happiness is found within, when we find peace within ourselves and find something of God whispering into our lives as well, through imagination, through playfulness, through thinking new things, through dreaming and seeing the world in different ways and finding new creativity in ourselves. One of the early church teachers was a man called St. Augustine, and he says this: God, you have made us for yourself, and our hearts are restless until they find their rest in you. So there can be all sorts of ways that we can find that, through curiosity, through asking questions, through maybe standing in nature or gardening, or those things that are much simpler and quieter. Maybe in the beauty of nature, or in the quiet of prayer, or in growing in our friendships. There are all kinds of ways that we can discover something new within ourselves. Even when it feels like we are bored, something interesting can emerge. Sometimes being bored is a gift. I hope that doesn't sound too boring. Would you join with me in a prayer? Dear God, sometimes life has its boring bits, and sometimes we are bored. Yet the most important things in this world, like love, creativity, and kindness, all come from you. Help us to find curiosity and imagination and dreams within ourselves. Amen. And let's say the prayer that Jesus taught us. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, for ever and ever. Amen. Well done. So here we are. It's time to blow out our candle. So would you please join with me? Loving God, help me to shine like a light in the world. Amen. So can you all please now blow out the candle? See if you can do it. Blow really hard. 1, 2, 3, and blow. Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Oh, fantastic. Ah. Brilliant. Have a great day, whatever you're doing, and try not to be too bored. But if you're bored, it's a gift. It's okay.